We are going to be replacing a GFCI outlet with a brand new GFCI outlet. First thing you're going to do obviously is turn off the power. And I always like to double check with an outlet tester. If the power was on it, the two outer lights would be on with this tester here. Once you get that figured out that you have no power on at all, go ahead and remove the faceplate of the GFCI outlet. Next step obviously is to remove the old GFCI with the top screw and the bottom screw. I find this a lot quicker using an impact drill than a regular screwdriver. Pull your old GFCI out of the wall and inspect. And there's one common difference that is different between an old GFCI outlet and the new ones. Now the old ones, the line and the load are basically in different areas than the new ones. And you're going to want to pay close attention to this because if you hook them up wrong, your outlet will not work. So if you see here, the line on the new one is actually on the top and the load is on the bottom. Whereas the old one, the load is on the top and the line is on the bottom. So as you can see here, they're actually reversed. Load, load, and then the line on the top, line on the bottom. So you're going to want to make sure you hook those up correctly. That's the only difference between going in with a new GFCI than an old GFCI. You're basically going to want to swap those lines and the loads. That's the number one most common issue of people who have a GFCI that's not working after the fact. And I always love to double check my power before I touch anything. So I checked it with an outlet tester, and I'm also double checking it with a DMM just to be 100% certain that the power is off. And then I use this twist the nut screwdriver to go ahead and remove my wires off of my old GFCI outlet. I absolutely love those. I will have a link in the description for this twist the nut screwdriver down in the description below. It's a great screwdriver to have when you're doing electrical outlets. And basically you're going to want to hook up your new outlet just like your old one, except obviously switching the line and the load. So you're going to want to make sure that you know which wires went to the line for your old GFCI outlet and which wires went to your load for the old GFCI outlet, and obviously reverse those. So the ones that were the line, which would be the bottom ones on the old outlet, go to the top of the new GFCI outlet. Obviously all the whites on one side and the blacks on the other. One thing that I heard a while back is, just a quick, easy way to remember. I'm not really sure about it, but it's one thing I heard about was the black always goes to the gold terminal, and you can remember that because Mr. T always wore gold. Now I don't know, if that works for you. It doesn't really work for me, but that's one thing I heard, so I thought I would share that. Once you got everything hooked up, obviously install that GFCI back into the box using the top screw and the bottom screw, and you're going to want to make sure that GFCI is in there straight. If not, go ahead and remove it, turn it a little bit, twist it to make it fit in there perfectly flat. And then once you're done with that, obviously go ahead and put your outlet cover back on. I always like to make the screws on my outlet covers straight up and down. That's just me. And then once you turn the power back on, you're going to want to go ahead and click your reset button, and that light will turn green. If it's not hooked up correctly, it will not reset, and that light will be red. So now I've reset it, and everything's working great. I always love to go through a second test on these new GFCI outlets, so I push the test button, then the reset button turns green, and you have power, so good to go. And then if you feel up to it, go ahead and test it one more time. Just run it through a test and reset function. Again, this is how you replace a GFCI outlet. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a fantastic day.